Right. We are live. This is kind of a weird setup, actually. Let me move the mic. Can you hear me? Is the audio good? What's good, YMMIJ Chen? What's good, Eel? I texted a girl if she'll be free today. She said yes. I texted her if it's okay we meet at a place. She left me on red. Wait, before I answer that, is the audio good? Is the audio good? Can you hear me? Okay, good. And let me know if it's too loud or anything, and I can adjust the volume. Okay, I texted a girl if she'll be free today. She said yes. I texted her if it's okay we meet at a place, and she left me on red. Bro, if I had $1 for every time something like that happened to me, I would be rich right now. I would be streaming from a penthouse apartment in Manhattan. When people do stuff like that, okay, I'm going to give you a quick little analogy. So let me put you on some game real quick. This applies to dating and business. I want you to think of a funnel. So if you were going to, let's say, pour something into a small water bottle and you couldn't pour it in the water bottle without a funnel, right? You know what a funnel looks like. I want you to think about the top of the funnel compared to the bottom of the funnel. At the top of the funnel, that is where you interact with the most people. So let's say, for example, if you're on a dating app. I wouldn't recommend going on a dating app, but let's just say you are on a dating app. At the top of the funnel, that's where you see all of the different women that you could potentially match with. And as you match with some of them, those women that you match with go down to the next level of the funnel. And out of those women, some of them aren't even going to respond to your message. So then the ones that do respond to your message go down to the next level of the funnel. And then from there, out of the women that do respond to your message, the ones that you make plans with go down to the next level of the funnel. And then finally, there are the ones who actually follow through with those plans. And then from there, you find the one that you actually want to be with. So that's how you go from putting yourself in front of hundreds or even thousands of women to having that one woman by your side. Think of it like a funnel. And the same thing applies to business. So let's say, for example, if you start a YouTube channel and you want to, sell merch or start a clothing line or something like that, and you want to sell it to your YouTube audience, you might have 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, but not all of them are going to buy your clothing. So maybe only, 1,000 of them will buy your clothing. And then from there, maybe those 1,000 people, there might be some within that 1,000 who would be willing to buy something more expensive from you. It's called customer ascension. But it's a little bit different because usually when it comes to dating, you're optimizing to land on one person. Whereas with business, it's more about making the bottom of the funnel not as big as possible, but you want the audience who reaches the bottom of the funnel to be good, high quality candidates for whatever it is that you're providing for them. I hope that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, let me know, and I can further elaborate. What's good, Golden Noma? Goma? I don't know how to say your last name. Help me enunciate that better. What's good, King Real? What's good, Labyrinthus? I would be a horrible substitute teacher because I'm really bad with names. If I'm mispronouncing your name, let me know, and let me know how to pronounce it. I'll get it down. Maybe not this stream, maybe not the next stream, but eventually I'm going to get it down. What's good, Ramon? What's good, Justin Thomas? What's good, Marmar Monim? I don't know if I said that right. What's good, Daniel Hung? What is good? I met her through cold approach. So yeah, the same logic applies. No matter how you meet the women, whether you meet them on a dating app, social media, or cold approaching, literally no matter how you meet them, the same logic applies. You're going from a wide range and why it is completely subjective. For some people, they may have hundreds of options to pick from. For some people, they might have 3 options to pick from, and then you end up with none of them. But the key is, whenever people don't make it to that next level of the funnel, don't take it personally. It doesn't mean that you're incompetent as a person. It just means that they weren't ready to progress to the next level of the funnel. That makes sense. Thank you so much, Jordan. Hey, bro, I'm glad I can help. That's one of those things that I really, really wish I knew when I was younger, because that used to confuse the hell out of me, bro. I remember, especially on the dating apps, there would be a lot of times when I would be talking to girls, and I tried all different kinds of approaches. I tried the direct approach. I tried just being upfront, saying, hey, let's plan something. Or I would even create plans and try to kind of spring the plans on them, which I guess wasn't really the best strategy. But I don't know. I tried the long game. I tried all of it, and none of it really worked. Because ultimately, as it turned out, and this is why I said I don't recommend dating apps just weren't really the ideal place to find my target audience. The people that I would actually want to be in a relationship with weren't on dating apps, by and large. Basically, I was just not in the right market. Which, by the way, that's literally all marketing is. If you ever are confused about marketing and what that entails, marketing is literally just you identifying the right market to present your stuff to. And in the case of dating, it's to present yourself to. I haven't been on your channel in forever, but it's good to see you again. I appreciate you for tapping back in. I've been getting a lot of comments like that recently, which is always a good sign. Anytime you start seeing comments like that people are tapping back in after a long time, after a long hiatus, that's a good sign. So I do appreciate you saying that. I'm at 110 days of no fap, but at the 85th day I did meth, so my brain isn't fully recovered. Bro, what? What? Yo, Jordan, been fucking with you since my first curly routine days. Glad to see you on my feed. How's the Netherlands? You moved, right? First of all, I appreciate the continued support. That was a very, very long time ago. And when was that? That was around August 2020, something like that. So yeah, it's been a long ass time, but a lot has changed for sure. I do live in the Netherlands right now. I am making this video or doing this live stream from the Netherlands, and I did move. I am on a 2-year visa. So I've actually been here for a little over a year now, which is crazy. I've been here in Europe for over 1 calendar year. Haven't even been back home yet, but I am going back home to the US pretty soon, here in about 2 months. So I'm gonna see what happens with that. We're gonna be there for about 3 months or so. I struggle with ambivalent feelings. I have this desire for connection, but once people come into my life, I feel disillusioned most of the time. They either annoy me or bore me. So, first of all, maybe the issue isn't that you actually have a desire for connection. Maybe it's that you have a desire for attention or acknowledgement, which I think it's very easy to confuse the two. Sometimes you think, and this definitely applies to dating as well, where sometimes people think that I just want to find a woman with whom I really deeply connect with. And you might actually want that. But sometimes people think they want that, but in reality, they just want attention from women, which are two completely different things. Not mutually exclusive, but they are different desires, and you have to be honest with yourself about what you do desire. Because if you're fulfilling your desires and you're not feeling satisfied, one of two things is happening. One, your perspective on life or the way that you approach life needs to change, assuming that you want to be happy and fulfilled. So that's where things like gratitude journaling come into play, where you allow yourself to consciously acknowledge the blessings that you're experiencing in the present moment. But if it's not that, it could very well be that you're just aiming at the wrong target. And so even when you hit the target, you don't feel any better because it's not the target that you want to hit deep down. And also, it could be because you have trust issues. Maybe you're not allowing people to really show you who they really are, or you're not allowing yourself to open up to them. And so you're not really, how do I put this? Basically, if you have trust issues and you don't actually want to open up to those people, or you don't feel like you're ready to do so yet, your mind will look for ways to sabotage those relationships from progressing so that you don't have to open up to them. So it could also be that. Obviously, I'm working with very limited information here, and I know I'm just throwing a lot on you right now, but just based on what you said, those would be my personal best guesses, if you will. I would bet that it's one of those few things. Why are you back streaming? Didn't you say this is the last stream when you moved out of your apartment? Yes, I did say that, and I meant it at the time, bro. I really, truly meant it. But basically, I'm not going to get too deep into where I'm going with this channel, because I talked about that in, I want to say, my last stream. If not my last stream, then the stream before that. Yeah, it was the stream before the one that I did with my girlfriend. So basically, I just want to get back to creating content in a way that I enjoy. And what I found is that live streaming is something that I actually enjoy. I think I like the feeling of, I don't even know how to put it. It's just not even intimacy per se. It's more like this sense of community that the live streams create. It's just a whole different feeling from videos and reading comments. It feels, to me at least, it feels like we're actually hanging out. I'm doing good, just trying to get over heartbreak and a bit of loneliness. Had to cut out a lot of fake people after years of knowing them, and I still find it hard to let go of some of them. It's difficult. It is difficult. And I know I've said this many times on my channel, and you probably maybe don't want to hear this at this moment in time, but it's something that I found to be true in my life. And that is that it's better to be alone than to be around people who make you feel lonely. So if you're going to be lonely, it's better to be lonely by yourself than to be lonely around other people. Because if you're lonely by yourself, you have space in your life to allow new connections to form, to present themselves. Jordan, have you thought about going back to college and getting a degree so you can get a digital marketing job? No. There were points throughout the past few years where I definitely wavered on my decision making in the past, where I was like, man, what if I actually made a mistake with dropping out of college? But not point of evidence, but basically the first argument that I used to instantly dismantle that doubt in my mind is that if I had gone to college, here's what would have happened. And this is actually a really good frame that I found. If you're maybe second guessing a decision that you've made, actually sit there and play through what would have happened if you had gone down that alternate route. This also helped me get past a lot of rejection and heartbreak in the past, because once you sit there and not even analyze, but just project what would have happened if you had stayed with that situation, with that girl, you know that it would have ended up just going to shit at the end. So basically, when it comes to college, let's say if I had stayed in college instead of dropping out, the biggest issue that I had was that I didn't want to limit myself to one thing. So with college, they require you, well, generally speaking, they require you to choose a major and stick to that major. And that was not something that I was interested in. And truthfully, is still not something I'm interested in. Even with YouTube, I'm not going to commit to just one niche or one lane of content, because that's just not what I want to do. Now, aside from that, the biggest thing I think that allows me to, I don't even, if I'm not making sense, or if I sound like I'm talking in circles, it's because I haven't eaten in hours, bro, and I'm literally starving right now. But basically, if I had stayed in college, I would be $100,000 in debt. I would basically have been in the same exact position, except I would be much further behind because I wasn't going to work a job. A 9 to 5 just wasn't going to happen. So based on that, and to your point, digital marketing job, that was never going to happen. So based on the fact that I was just going to end up doing what I do now anyways, there was no point in ever going to college. And even if I was going to get a digital marketing job, which like I said, a job is not something that I'm interested in really for the rest of my life, you don't need a degree to do anything in digital marketing at all. That is definitely, don't, listen, if you're going to go to college, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to just drop out of college, but if you're going to go, please do not major in something, and especially do not pull out loans to major in something that you don't need a degree for. Please don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't set yourself back like that. If you're going to go to college to be an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or something where that is literally the barrier of entry. With digital marketing, business, don't go to college and get a business degree. I mean, you do you, it's your life, but I wouldn't advise you to do that because ultimately you're going to learn the most about business from starting a business and running it. So that's my recommendation. My last name's pronounced Nigoma. Nagoma, I got you. Golden Nagoma. Purchase his coaching course via school while on discount. Listen, the discount is only going to last about 2 or 3 more days. 2 or 3 more days. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this yet. My business partner might get mad at me for saying this, but we're looking to launch the program officially within the next 2 to 3 days. And once we launch that program, that price is going up and it is staying up. Not only is it staying up, but it's going to continue to rise as more people join because we can only let in 20 people per week. So I would highly advise you, if you want to lock in at a lower price, I would highly advise you to go ahead and do that by clicking the link in the description. You don't have to, but if you want to, if you're going to join the community, now would be the best time to do it. What are your thoughts on DDG as an influencer? That's a pretty broad question, so I'll just narrow it down to how he's impacted me in terms of being a content creator. And I was thinking about this recently. I think the reason why DDG really inspired me pretty much more than anyone else is because DDG was the first person who showed me that you can be an introvert and still be successful. Up to that point, until I was around 18 or 19, I literally thought you had to be extroverted, outgoing, energetic, and just a people person in order to be successful. But DDG really shifted my paradigm about that because, of course, in DDG's videos, he's always going to be the center of attention because they're his videos. But when I would see DDG in other people's videos, because I wasn't just watching him, I was watching everybody in that group that he associated with. Whenever I'd see him in their videos, he was almost always the quietest one in the videos. And he was also simultaneously the most successful. So I always thought that was really cool that he was literally just like me, where if you put him in a room with other people, he's the quietest one there more often than not. But he's also very, very successful. He just really broke that limiting belief that I had. And that's kind of something that I've aspired to do through my content as well. Obviously, again, because it's my content, I'm usually going to be the center of attention. I'm going to be talking, and you might not even know from watching my content that I'm an introvert. But if you ever met me in real life and spent 3 or 4 days around me, you'd find out very quickly that I am one of the biggest introverts you'll ever come across in your whole entire life, unapologetically. Do you think girls in dating apps are most likely looking for sex? I think it depends. I think some of them, again, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier, sometimes people think they want something, but they actually want something else. They just won't admit it to themselves because it doesn't sound good in their minds. They don't think it's socially acceptable. So they kind of repress the desire. So I think that some girls maybe think that they want relationships. And this also applies to guys. I only have experience with the girls on the dating apps. I think some of them think they want relationships, but when push comes to shove, they don't. They actually don't. Making money is actually a necessity because then you would have a higher standard of living depending where you go, or just go out traveling and decide which country you like. Oh yeah, making money is absolutely a necessity. It is absolutely a necessity. No doubt about that. Do you have advice on how to stop spending so much time on video games? Honestly, what helped me, alright, I'm going to tell you the story about how I stopped playing video games. I want to say it was 2018. First of all, context. I got into video games through Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. My sister gave me her PS2. I don't know why she gave me her PS2. She just gave it to me. And she gave me GTA San Andreas, Guitar Hero, a couple of Naruto games, I think. And I played all of them, but GTA San Andreas literally, I don't know what it did, but it's like it reached into my brain and gripped a part of my brain and held it captive for literally the next 10 years or so. So I was probably around 9 when this happened. And from there, I progressed to GTA 4, Call of Duty. Bro, it got to the point, because my parents, they would give me an allowance. I would spend my whole allowance every month on shoes and video games. That was just my whole entire, from probably age 10 to around when I started working. Because they stopped giving me an allowance when I started working. So from age 10 to 16, that's all I spent my money on, was just shoes and video games. And when GTA 5 came out, what was that, 2013? When GTA 5 came out, it was a wrap. It was game over. I was playing that game non-stop. And then when GTA Online launched, full-time job. Full-time job with no pay. They weren't paying me a dime. As a matter of fact, I was paying my money. I was buying microtransactions out of the little money that I had from working at IHOP to progress on the game faster. And I really was super invested in that game, but what the fuck? Is the connection okay? It just said I was offline for a second. I really hope. Hold on, before I continue, is the quality still good? Is the quality still good? Okay, nobody's saying no, so I'm just going to assume the quality's still good. So, where was I? Yeah, GTA 5. So, I'm putting in hours upon hours, and I'm doing this for years. There was even a point when I was in college where I would wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. just to play video games before going to college. When I wake up early to do something, you know that I love doing that thing, because I don't wake up early for shit. So, I'm playing the video games. I want to say I was 19 years old. This was after college. So I would have been 19 years old. I was playing GTA Online one day, and I want to say I was doing one of the CEO missions or something. If you've played the game, then you know what I'm talking about. So I'm playing the game, and then I think I was trying to save up money on the game or something like that. And I just had this epiphany in my head. I was like, wait a minute. Why don't I just do this in real life? Why don't I just try to make money in real life instead? And once that question entered my mind, I knew it was over. Deep down, I knew it was over. I think I turned the game off, and I don't think I ever played it again after that, actually. Shortly thereafter, I sold my PS4, and that was that. So it kind of depends on how old you are. I think part of that was just me being older and realizing that I have agency over my life, and I can choose to go out and pursue wealth or pursue whatever it is that I want to pursue. I don't need to get the cars in the video game because I can do this shit in real life. Might be harder, but it's possible. Once I acknowledged that, I couldn't play the game anymore. It was game over, if you will. That was that. I'm not gonna lie, I completely lost my place in the chat. Completely lost my place. So I'm just gonna pick up here. What's good, JD Great? You finally caught the live, bro. It's been a long time coming. Still a moderator too, that's what's up, bro. You have mod privileges for life. Once a mod, always a mod. Good day, bro. How are you doing today? I just knew that you would bring back your live streams. Eel, I appreciate you, bro. You really... Here's the thing. I don't know if anybody who watches me thinks that I can't differentiate between you because I have so many subscribers or whatever. But I remember the people who stuck with me when things weren't going my way. That's one of those things about me that I can't really deprogram. I remember the people who stuck with me, and I remember the people who didn't. That's a really, really big defining component of my mind and how my mind works. I won't say I'm a vengeful person, but I do hold grudges. I hold grudges, but on the flip side of that, I give flowers forever. That's actually a big part of how I ended up with my girlfriend, was because she really, when you talk about sticking with somebody, she stuck with me through everything. And at that point, it was like, you can't replicate that. It's like no girl could have ever came into my life and superseded that. I'm majoring in psychology right now. I try to maintain a B average. Now, see, if you're majoring in psychology, then I'm assuming you're going to do something in that field. And if that's the case, then absolutely college is a great investment for you. So, to your point, Ramon, I wouldn't say colleges are scams in and of themselves. I think it's more about how you choose to use them. And also, it depends on where you're from. Because here in the Netherlands, for example, college works completely differently. But if you want to go to college, pull out $100,000 in student loans and major in art history or something like that, I'm not going to stop you from doing that, but I wouldn't advise it. I definitely would not advise it. But if you're going to do psychology, then yeah. And honestly, truthfully, if I had stayed in college, that's probably what I would have ended up majoring in, is psychology. So really, if I had stayed in college, I probably would have ended up being a therapist or something like that. But I think I prefer what I'm doing now. I like life coaching because life coaching, for one, it's not as regulated, which I know sounds bad, but to me, that gives me more agency over how I want to structure my programs, because I don't really care about all of the hurdles and all of the different barriers of entry and all of that. I just care about getting people results. That's my focus with my coaching program, which link in the description once again. That's my focus with my coaching, or even with my free content, even with my streams, is I just want to help people get results. That's my thing. I don't care about all of the red tape and all of that stuff. As someone who did a bachelor's in IT and business, don't get a business degree. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, Brad. If you already have a business degree, then I'm sure you learned something along the way. So use it. Use what you learned and continue to build on that knowledge, because you can't go back and change what you did. But I definitely, and actually that was the first major that I picked when I went to college, community college at that. But when I went to college, I wanted to major in business. But then I realized, once again, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you don't need to go to college for that. I think it's kind of this weird paradox, because people think that they can go to college for business and they'll learn how to start a business, And you might learn the logistical side of it, but you won't develop the soft skills required to actually run a business. Running a business really just requires initiative. You have to be willing to take the initiative to step into the dark, not knowing what awaits you, and figure it out as you go. And that's something that for a lot of people is very difficult to do, because a lot of people, especially because of the way the schooling system is structured, are conditioned to wait for people to give them instructions. But if you're going to be self-employed, you have to become that person in your own life. You have to give yourself direction. But if you're someone like me, it's not you have to give yourself direction, it's you get to give yourself direction. That's a privilege, but it's a privilege that comes with a shit ton of responsibility. Like, bro, you can make games without a degree in coding, just need resiliency and to keep going. Exactly. That's really it. Listen, okay, if you never watch any of my videos ever again, if you don't join my coaching program, if you never ever hear from me again, okay, this is what I want you to take away from all of my content. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just don't quit. Literally, listen, this is one of the best quotes I've ever heard. It's so simple, but it's one of the best quotes I ever heard. It's from Alex Hormozy. I need you to listen very, very closely. Business is not a game of best man wins. It's a game of last man standing. That's literally it. The tortoise and the hare is one of the first stories we hear in kindergarten. That shit is true. Just keep going. If you just keep going, you're going to figure it out eventually. Yesterday, I was watching some of my old fitness videos because this whole week I've been filming fitness content so that I can bless the streets, because I have learned quite a bit over the past couple of years about fitness. But I was watching some of my old fitness content. I watched one of my videos from 2019 and one of my videos from 2022, both fitness videos, workout videos. And what I realized was that in those 3 years, I didn't make any progress at all. I literally plateaued for 3 years, but I just kept going to the gym. I just would not stop going. And eventually, after years of just seeing the same person looking back in the mirror, I started to ask myself if maybe I'm going about things the wrong way. And what I realized was, yes, I am, or at least I was. And from there, I started seeking out the information that I needed. And now I have the information, and I've made more progress in the past year than I did in the previous 5 years combined. But I only got to this point because I didn't quit. Same applies with YouTube or literally anything else in life. Just don't quit. Be the last man standing. If you can do that, then I can guarantee you, I don't like to make a whole lot of guarantees, because ultimately your life is your life and your decisions determine your destiny. But I can guarantee you that if you don't quit, you will be successful. Period. Point blank period. I will stake my whole entire life on that claim. I also feel like if you're introverted, you have to pretend to be extroverted to be successful and to reach your goals. No, that is definitely not true. I think part of it is positioning yourself correctly. If you're an introvert, then maybe you shouldn't do something that's extremely forward facing. And I know it's kind of ironic me saying that, because I literally, the core of my brand is YouTube and content creation. But you have to understand that this is all controlled. I get to dictate everything about these interactions. If I don't want to talk anymore, I can turn the camera off. So really, this is actually, contrary to popular belief, a dream job for an introvert, because you get to dictate all of the interactions. Everything happens at your discretion. But you definitely don't need to be extroverted to be successful. It's just about putting yourself in the right positions. If you're an introvert, maybe you shouldn't go into sales. Right? Because, I mean, you can do it, you can be successful at it, but maybe that's not the best thing. You should still learn the skill of selling, but maybe you shouldn't become a car salesman or a real estate agent, because you're going to work with people selling them stuff. But also, I think that being an entrepreneur is kind of a cheat code in a way as well, because again, as an entrepreneur, a lot of times you get to dictate how everything is structured. So just like I was saying earlier, you have the responsibility of laying out a roadmap for yourself, but that responsibility comes with a lot of freedom. And so as an entrepreneur, you have the freedom to say, you know what, I'm done doing sales calls today. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm going to take some time for myself. You have the freedom to do that. So never think that being an introvert means that you can't be successful, or that you can't even be successful doing something that involves interacting with people. I'm an INFJ personality type. Me too. If you know your Myers-Briggs personality type, I want you to comment what it is, because I'm very curious to see. I feel like a lot of my audience is INFJ, just like me. But my girlfriend's INFJ as well. So we're really just two introverts. We'll really just sit in the room together in silence for an hour or two. And it's just vibes. I know you have a girlfriend, but if you were single, would you date a single mother? Why or why not? That one's tricky. I think that for me, the answer is no. But it's not because she has a kid per se. It'd be more because I'm at a point in my life where I don't have enough bandwidth to take care of a child. Now, let's say, for example, if I had a child, then I would create the bandwidth. But if I didn't make the decision to have a child myself, and it's literally, the thing is, if you're going to date somebody who already has a child, you have to have the mentality that that's your child as well. Even if they're not biologically your kid. At least that's how I would approach it. So in knowing that, I don't have the bandwidth for that at this point in my life. I just don't. Talk about your workout routine, bro. So I'll just say this. I'm running an Arnold split right now, and I've been seeing really, really good gains. Having that extra attention on my arms and shoulders has really paid dividends. But my workout routines, bro, I think I'm not going to say I've perfected it, but I found a routine that I can truly stick to. I did a lot of experimentation, a lot of research, a lot of research, watching all of these best bicep exercise tier list videos. I've watched so many of those videos, asked ChatGPT so many questions about fitness, and I finally figured this shit out. So I'm going to do a workout routine video probably within the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. Yo, Jordan, why do girls I talk to only want pictures rather than a genuine conversation? Because they're not genuine people. That's what it comes down to. I feel like when GTA 6 will come out, some entity will make me buy it and not make me leave the house for 6 months straight and play in the virtual world. I'm not going to lie. If I was ever going to get back into gaming, GTA 6 would be the game to make me do it. But I don't know, man. I can't look at games the same way anymore. Last year I downloaded GTA San Andreas on my phone because it comes free with Netflix. I got about halfway through the game and it just got boring. Maybe it's because I beat the game 5 or 6 times already, but I don't know. Games to me, it's just a form of escapism. And I'm not diametrically opposed to escapism in and of itself, but I don't know. To me, gaming is just not my thing anymore. I guess I really just kind of outgrew it. But if you play video games, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just, don't use games as a replacement or as a substitute for building yourself and building your life the way you want it. The amount of reinventions you've had is admirable. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I was just talking about this with my girlfriend earlier, because this is a really big testament as to how far I've come. But I was on Snapchat today because I needed to get some old pictures. I won't get too deep into that, but basically I needed some old pictures for my business partner. And while I was there, because I'm creating a community of people, I decided to go back and look through some of the group chats that I used to be a part of, or I guess technically am still a part of, but that I used to be active in. And it was really fascinating because when I started scrolling through all of the saved images and saved snaps or whatever the hell they're called, I saw some pictures from calls that we did. And I started thinking to myself, well, damn, when I was 18, I would have been around 18 or maybe 19. 18, yeah. I was 18 when I joined these group chats. And when we would do these calls, I was afraid to talk. I was literally afraid to talk. I was afraid to show my face. I would sit there in a dark room with maybe just a little bit of light so they could see my silhouette, and I wouldn't talk unless somebody spoke to me first. And now, here in the next week or two, I'm going to start hosting group coaching calls, which is absolutely insane. So, I don't know, to me that was, once again, a really good testament as to how far I've come. And it's not like I got better at articulating myself, but ultimately that's just a change in confidence. Just shifting my confidence level was enough for that transformation. So that just goes to show you how far confidence can take you. I'm not big into the opposite gender even at the age of 23. If you're not big into the opposite gender, then you're not big into the opposite gender. There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever you're into, lean into that. Because there are other people who are into what you're into as well. And that applies to YouTube. If you want to start a business, you want to run a personal brand, understand that there are people out there who are into what you're into. Or even from a broader standpoint, when it comes to dating, you think that, I'm into chess and I'm into playing darts underwater. There are people who are into the same things that you're into. I don't care how peculiar your interests are. There are people who are into those same exact things. And that right there, leaning into those interests, is how you start to funnel, or how you start to move people down the funnel. When you embrace who you are, whether it's on YouTube or with dating or anything in between or beyond, some people will be repelled by that. And that's a good thing, because now you've narrowed the playing field. You say, okay, these people are all into this. Okay, we all have the same music taste. Now I wonder how many of those people are into the same kind of art that I'm into, or even if they're into art. And then you narrow it down more. And eventually you have the person or the people who actually belong in your life. I'm very passionate about being a businessman, but I keep struggling with scarcity. I got back from a long holiday and came back depressed for 2 months. Now I'm trying to get my life back. What do you mean you're struggling with scarcity? Do you mean that, why did the holiday make you depressed? And how does that correlate with your scarcity? Oh God, I lost my place in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna start with this one. Hi, Jordan. Can you please give me advice on how to face the real world for the first one? That's a big one. That's a big one. So here's the thing with that, bro. Again, this is where I feel like the school system really fails us, is because school teaches you to believe that there will always be somebody to lay the path out for you. And while that is technically true, there will always be the option. What I believe personally is that it's much more fulfilling and much more rewarding to lay that path out yourself. So first of all, here's what I need you to understand. Because if you're asking that question, I'm going to assume you're maybe 18, but it doesn't really matter how old you are. The first thing you need to understand is that nobody really knows what the fuck they're doing, right? So everyone seems like they know exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it, but most people don't. Most people do not. What makes you an adult is deciding to act in spite of not knowing what you're doing. So not waiting to receive direction to take action. If I have to schedule a doctor's appointment right now, and I need to call the people and schedule the appointment, I get nervous before I call them. Still, it doesn't go away. I thought it was going to go away, but it doesn't. Again, I'm an introvert. That sort of stuff really gives me, I won't say anxiety, but it makes me nervous. But I just do it anyways. Before I turn this camera on to do this stream, I was feeling nervous. I get nervous before every single stream, but I still do it. Filming at the gym. I've done that basically this whole entire week for 4 days. No. 4 days straight. Right? Yeah, 4 days straight. It made me nervous every time. I just did it anyways. So understand that your feelings are valid. I'm not here to invalidate your feelings, but your feelings don't have to dictate your actions. This world is a big place and it can be very scary, and nobody is going to give you all of the answers. Nobody has all of the answers. You got to think about it. There are 8 billion people on this planet right now, and there have been billions that have come before us, and we still collectively, between all of us, have not figured this life thing out. So my money is on us never figuring it out, and that's okay. It's not about figuring it out. It's about living it. It's about living in spite of not having it figured out. So again, don't wait for somebody to lay out a roadmap for you and to tell you, hey, you need to do this and this and this in this order by these deadlines. You can if you want. You just probably won't live a very fulfilling life. What I'd advise you to do is just start taking action. Start taking action. Ask yourself what you really want out of this life. Better yet, ask yourself what you want to give to life. What do you want to offer life? And start taking action based on that. And when you do that, when you take that leap of faith, everything else becomes easier. Like I said, I still get nervous when I have to make a doctor's appointment. I probably should make a doctor's appointment actually. I haven't had a checkup since I was 14, I think. So I probably should get around to that at some point. But even though I still get nervous, it's a lot easier because I know that, hey, it's not harder than making 1,000 videos on YouTube for the internet to see, or dropping out of college or quitting my job to pursue YouTube full time with 600 subscribers. I've done harder things. So yeah, that was a very long-winded way of saying just take action. Just take action. I got a master's in data science and AI now, but there's some useful stuff for sure. Yeah, that right there, that's a very useful degree. That is a very, very useful degree to have in this day and age. But the key is, though, this is another thing that I want to say. And Brad, I feel like you already know this, but this is for the people who don't know this. Just because you have a degree doesn't mean that you can stop learning. That's a big thing. I think that people think that once they have a degree, they're good. They're like, okay, I've already learned the thing. You have to understand that the world is dynamic. It's constantly evolving. And if you don't evolve with it, you will get left behind. You're going to get left behind and you're going to wonder what the fuck happened. You have to continue learning, which is why I advise you to pursue something that you're interested in the first place. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable your whole life because you're going to be learning about something and doing something that you despise doing. So pursue your interests, which I know may contradict the advice I gave earlier about not majoring in something that won't give you a return on your investment. But again, college isn't always the optimal path for pursuing your interests. You have to have enough, you have to be aware enough to discern whether or not college is actually right for you. Don't listen to what the people say, especially your teachers, who say that college is the only path to success, because it was the path to success for them. They had to go to college, but you might not. I'm trying to look for a job that works with animals when I get my psychology degree. Maybe I could be an animal behaviorist or something. That sounds dope. Actually, my girlfriend, she told me something about horse therapy, where they basically, you have a therapist who has horses and uses the horses to deliver the therapy. I don't really know how all of it works. I just know that horses are very good at picking up on people's energy. And horses can tell you a lot about yourself. I think all animals can, but yeah, that was just one example that I heard of. And I thought it was really, really cool. Do you like Kendrick's album? I've only listened to it one time, so I can't really make a full, accurate judgment on it. But that first listen through, I did like it though. But you know what? I haven't really been listening to... That's a lie, I do listen to rap. But I haven't listened to a whole lot of Kendrick though, recently. No knock on Kendrick, it's just I'm in a different phase right now. Kendrick is more for when I'm in that introspective mood, or that introspective chapter of my life. That's basically... I listen to Kendrick when I'm writing a lot of poetry. Right now, I'm not really writing a lot of poetry. But he's still my favorite rapper, though, for sure. Jordan, is this video live stream just supposed to be a talk amongst friends or an advice-giving video? Both. I want all of my streams to be a combination of both. Hold on, I'm just now realizing how far behind I am. INTJ, INFP, ISFJ. Let me see. Specifically, I'm right in the middle of being INFJ and INTP. Yeah, I figured that my content would be more attractive to introverts, because I feel like us as introverts have a tendency to just think really deeply about things because we don't talk a lot. So we have to process things internally. I feel like my channel is really just one big intrusive thought. That's pretty much all it is. It's just me just literally externalizing what goes on in my head. I'm also INFJ. I literally step outside and I already hate it, bro, but that's just me. Bro, listen. Oh my gosh. I felt that so much. I remember this girl in college back in 2021 who my boy said was eyeing me up, but she had a kid. I was considering going for it, not gonna lie, but when I asked you about it, you talked me out of it. Glad you did. Well, I'm glad I did too. I'm very glad that I did as well. Here's my thing, bro. I feel like a lot of people think that if you pass up on the opportunity to talk to a girl, for example, then you've just missed that opportunity. But I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way because I believe that when something is supposed to happen, it's going to happen. It is going to happen. You're going to run across that person again. So if you're supposed to be with that girl, then you'll end up with that girl one way or another. But based on how you frame that message, I'm going to assume that that is not the case. But you have to be careful though. You have to be very careful because some people out here are treacherous. I say people because it's not just women. There are some treacherous men out here too. Believe me, they are out here. And they give people like us a bad name. But we got to change the paradigm. You guys got to change the paradigm because I'm already taken. But I try to change the paradigm the best that I can within my relationship. What are the goals you have when it comes to working out? Honestly, at this point, I'm just focused on getting swole and strong. That's basically it. Swole and strong without... Oh, hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Is this... Wait, hold on. Is the stream still good? This YouTube Live needs to tighten up a little bit. It looked like my shit was buffering for a second. But yeah, basically get as swole and strong as possible while also maintaining good cardio and flexibility. That's more or less what it is. Didn't they say GTA 6 will let you earn real life money or something? If that's the case, then I will be the first person on the game. That would change the whole dynamic. Fuck everything else that I said throughout the stream. If that's the case, I will be on that game 24/7. 8 days a week. I'm going to get 2 PS5s. I'm going to be grinding on one. I'm going to have my girl grinding on one. We're going to lock in. Did you study for being a life coach? Yes. So for a long time, because again, I'm not big on credentials. To me, it's more about results. It's kind of like, I don't care if you have a degree in finance or accounting or whatever. If you are rich, I'm going to trust what you say more than somebody who has a finance degree but isn't rich. I'm going to trust what you say when it comes to making money because you have the results. Just like I'm going to trust the person who is swole, who has the physique that I want, more than I'm going to trust the scientist who does the research but doesn't have the physique that I want. And isn't even aspiring to that physique that I want. But that said, I am currently, let me see. I'm on my 3rd out of 4 courses. Go to my learning. Let me just, maybe I should actually show you all of the course certificates that I've gotten. Because I've invested a lot of time and money into courses. Let me see, because OBS, I can do the screen sharing thing. Window capture. You gotta be a little bit patient with me because I'm starting to get up there in age, bro. I don't really know how some of this stuff works anymore. But display capture, fuck. Yeah, wallpaper? No. Dock? No, it's this. Yeah, here we go. All right. Getting somewhere. Can I just move this on top? No? Wait. Hold on. Give me a second. I got this. Boom. Okay, boom. So look, check this out. These are all of the course certificates that I've gotten thus far. So all of these you do. I get songwriting course. I think I took that 2023. Facebook ads. I don't even know why I took this one. I don't even run Facebook ads. I was just taking courses just to take courses, bro. But these are the 2 main ones right here. We have the life coach, professional life coach certification and guide. I think I got this, last year. And then I just finished this one, maybe a week or two ago. Yeah. So right now I'm working on a goal setting course, life coaching goal setting course. And after that, I'm doing a life coaching happiness course. And I'm only doing it because I just want to learn more about life coaching, because that's the thing that I'm really honing in on. So it isn't official. Yes, it is official. Those are accredited courses that I'm taking. These are accredited courses. And once I get the 4th course done, I get a master life coach certification. I don't even know what it's called. But yeah, they are definitely official. That's the thing, though. I guess that's kind of the red tape with the life coaching thing, is that some of the courses are accredited and some of them aren't. So I just take the accredited ones. But they're really cool, though. Because some of those courses that I took made me want to break my laptop. I was like, why am I even taking this? But I already bought it, so I finished every single one. A salary is the drug they give you to forget your dreams. That's gonna make some people uncomfortable. I like that one. I might use that as a hook in one of my videos. What are we at? We're at an hour. I also kind of like the feeling of being in a nervous position because I know there's an end goal and I will feel good when I accomplish it. That's the key right there, bro. Once you reach that point where you fall in love with the feeling of not knowing what you're doing, that will take you a very long way in life. Because it's addicting. That is an addicting feeling. It's not even just the feeling itself, is knowing what's going to happen. Is knowing that, hey, I'm using this editing software for the first time and I don't know what any of these things mean. But in about 3 months, I'm going to be using this completely second nature. I'm not even going to have to think about it anymore. To me, that's what life is about, in my opinion. It's just facing that uncertainty, leaning into it, and becoming comfortable where you were once uncomfortable. How many of the OGs do you still talk to? People like Giovanni and Bryce? Yeah, so, you know what? I haven't talked to Giovanni in a long time. I probably should tap again with him, but I don't have my American number anymore, so I don't even know how to get in touch with him. But I'll find a way. Whenever I go back to LA, to visit LA, I'm going to tap in with him for sure. Because he's a very solid guy. He's actually the one who I really learned how to be confident from. He's the first person that I came across who had that type of audacity to him. He just has a certain audacity about him that you can't miss it. And Bryce and I, we tap in every month. We have a monthly call. Here's the thing, man. Also, let me give flowers. Let me give credit where credit is due, bro. Let me give Bryce his flowers. If it wasn't for Bryce, I don't think I would be in the position that I'm in. I truly don't think so, because there was a point in time when there was nobody else in my life who was pursuing this kind of path. There was a point in time where it was basically just Bryce. And I think maybe I was also that person in his life where neither of us had the support system that we were looking for as far as pursuing our dreams, pursuing our purposes. So he's definitely played a major role in my journey. And if you don't have that Bryce yet, if you haven't met your version of Bryce in your life, then once again, link in the description, and you can meet multiple Bryces. Because that's literally what I'm going for. Is I literally just want to set it up to where it's just this big feedback loop of people who are all on their purposes, and also can talk about other things like dating and sports or whatever. It doesn't always have to be just intense business. Oh, we got to make it. It can also be just life stuff. Yes, sir, you got to be a lifelong student in life, not just career-wise. I could have taken my foot off the gas after getting that degree, but I've been taking the online courses on Udemy, etc. You already know, bro. See, Brad, I knew you would get it. I knew you would get it, but what the fuck? Bro, please tell me. I don't know how much longer I could stream because the connection is just kind of dropping out. And I haven't had lunch yet, and it's 8 o'clock. That's ridiculous. I gotta tighten up, bro. I really do. But I'm going to get that lunch in. I'm going to get those 3,600 calories in come hell or high water. But yes, bro, it's not just about your career. It's about everything. Even with relationships, a lot of people think that once they get into a relationship, they're good. It's like, oh, I'm good. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And to an extent, that's true. You don't have to put as much energy into finding somebody anymore. You don't have to put any energy into finding someone anymore. But you do have to put energy into maintaining their relationship. It's like a car. You think that once you get a car, you're good. Oh, I'm good. I don't have to walk anymore. You still have to take that car to get serviced. And if you don't, you're going to find yourself walking sooner rather than later. And also, as I learned the hard way, the same applies to being successful. You think that once you get to that point in life where you're making some good money, some decent money, whatever, you're good. You can take your foot off the gas. You can just relax and become complacent. But again, if you don't evolve along with life, you are going to get left behind. And it is very difficult. Take it from me. It is very difficult to catch up once you get left behind. Not impossible, but it's very difficult. Yo, Jordan, how can I get a girlfriend in 2025? Because this is a different time and culture in the world. Give me the breakdown, Jay. Bro, listen. I got you, bro. I'm going to film a video. Did I already film it? I don't know, but I'm going to film a video very, very soon about how to get a girlfriend in this day and age, because I think people overcomplicate it, bro. It's because, you know what it is? I think you listen to too much advice from people, which I know it's kind of contradictory because I'm literally going to give you advice in that video, but I think that you listen to too much advice, but you don't really... Either you don't apply the advice, or maybe the advice is pulling you in too many different directions and you're not asking yourself what you really want. Here's the key to getting a girlfriend, bro. Are you ready? You're not ready. Hold on. Let me... Tell me... If you're ready, then let me know. If not, then I'm gonna gatekeep it. Giovanni just got Aura 10 out of 10 game in regards to women too. The LA vlog was so good. Bro, that's basically the best way to put it. I don't use that term a whole lot, aura, but he does have aura, bro. He is different. He has the kind of confidence that I don't think you could break. You can't break his confidence. And on top of that, he's also extroverted, so he projects his confidence differently. But yeah, bro is definitely... He's one of those ones, bro. That man has inspired the hell out of me. But it is no water left in here. I don't know what I'm drinking. All right, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to end the stream at 1 hour and 11 minutes. So we got about 2 minutes left. So ask me any questions that you have. My boy on roids, absolutely not. I don't really understand why people take steroids, especially if you're not going to go up on a stage and compete. What's the point? You get all of the downsides for none of the upsides. I don't really get that. But my thing is, why not see what you can accomplish naturally first? If you're going to take PEDs, at the very least, reach your natural limit first. And then if you're not satisfied with it, go for it. What practical advice to improve my social skills so I can have flowing conversations with girls? I have trouble starting conversations or keeping it going. All right, first of all, bro, listen up closely. You don't always have to talk to girls. This is a really big, in my opinion, indication that you're not with the right girl. If you have to keep a conversation going all the time, if you can't just sit in silence with her, it's not the right girl. That is not the right girl for you. You should be able to sit in silence and not feel uncomfortable. Maybe on the first date, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. It might be a little bit tense. But you should be able to sit in silence. Now, as far as when you do have a conversation, because you're not just going to go on a date and be silent the whole entire time. That's crazy. That's a different breed. If you are going to go on a date with a girl and you're going to talk to her, talk about things that you're interested in. Talk about things, and this is counterintuitive because a lot of people will tell you you should ask questions. Asking questions helps, but ultimately, if she's not into the things that you're into, if there's not any overlap at all, because that's where the best conversation happens, is in that overlap. If there is no overlap, that's not a girl you should be with. So it's not always about you not knowing how to talk to a girl. It could just be that you're with the wrong girl. And that's the advice that I was gatekeeping. All right, before I end the stream, that's the advice that I was gatekeeping. Pick the right girl. That's literally the best dating strategy. Pick the right girl. If you pick the right girl, everything else becomes easy. That said, I appreciate you for tuning in, and stay tuned because I am dropping daily content moving forward. Click the link in the description if you want more game, bro. If you're looking to level up in every aspect of life, look, I'm not even gonna sell you anything. Just click the link, bro. Click the link in the stream. Dismiss.